I made an online purchase. I have bought an album since that has just been released and I was excited about it. It took about 2 weeks to arrive and when it died, the page arrived incomplete and I have had to claim it and then I got the album along with gifts from its limited version. I recently went out with some friends. We have visited several places that we have never seen. We repeated they has bought and went to different stores. We ended up getting lost and it took us a while to get together. It was still fun. About a year ago, I have had my first purchase on the internet and this I wanted to get some photos. That time I was hungry and I did not investigate well about the page. I have paid for it and when it arrived the page was empty. Yesterday I have went shopping with my family and we went to pet store. We have found some Christmas themed outfits and we have bought some for your dogs. For a long time I have wanted a specific garment and could not find it anywhere. I have just saved it for it and finally had the opportunity to get it.
A few days ago, we have made an online purchase to get tickets for a movie, but the page was saturated. We have had entered since 12 a.m. when they started selling, but we couldn't do anything. And in the end, we have had to wait until later to buy them. Last week we were queuing to attend an event, but it turned out that the line for entry was very long and luckily someone who had already entered before us their place so we could enter faster. Time I have wanted to use stuffed animal and I have thought it would not be that expensive since it was small, but when looking for the price it turned out to be 3,000 more expensive than I thought. 4 days ago I was buying some tickets to see a movie and the seller sold me a card that I tried to reject, but in the end I have ended up buying. I have bought an online store and I'm nervous because I don't know how the product will arrive and since it can be damaged.
About 5 years ago, I decided to get off when my mother was going to the shopping, and that is why I wanted to go see some chocolate. And the moment I decided to go back to my mother, who according to me was next to me, I no longer saw her, and I decided to speak to a police officer in there, and I told him that I could not find my mother, and the police officer did not know what to do. He kept thinking, thank goodness my mother saw me at that moment, and we left. A few months ago, we went as a family to the supermarket, and in that my sister approached to clothes and like a blue and put it in the car. And at the time we were going to pay, that had told her that it had a higher price, so my parents went to show them that it said a different price. The cashier called the manager and went to check it, and they respected the initial price that it said. The previous week, I went out with my family according to going to see the tree what is in Chedraui, but in the end we went to buy a few things and I went on way with my little sister. She was looking for her joys and I wanted to see if they still had the sweets that every time I went I liked to buy sign. I had not been to a place sign before the pandemic. When I approached, I could not see if they were, even I think they had everyone except the one I was looking for. Many years ago I went with my mother and my sister to quick clothes, but just like my sister and I, without being very young, we were distracted to buy many things. And in that my sister grabbed a panties at a place of underwear, and there was a woman behind, and when my sister was young, she told my mother that she was looking for something big, and the lady was looking ugly, and nervously said it, and I thought I told her to get away from her. On a previous Christmas, we went to see the gifts so that my younger sister could decide what to order inside. Maybe had chose my mother. She thought us out of here so that my mother could do it. I was going to pay, but my sister wanted to go back to my dad, and at that moment she almost saw my dad doing the toy.
I have shopped in the store with my mother when suddenly I see that she's gone at the moment. So I lost myself and I have went with the security to help me find my mother. I have tried to steal Santa doll, but the security guard began to see me suspicious. So I have got scared and I am ready decided to leave the doll in its place. Once I have went out with my friend and we like animal salad, so once we have saw a puppy and we tried to give him a potato to eat, but when we got closer the dog started barking at us and did not continue until the entrance of a plaza. When I was at McDonald's and playing the slides, I have got lost. Then a girl come up to me since while I was crying, and then she helped me out. When I went to buy gummies with my boyfriend, they has had to weigh 100 grams, but since there was no scale and I have tried to calculate it, but when we went to pay, I have spent double.